There's someone in this energy who's really doing the best that they can with what they have, and they feel like that they were promised so many things that hasn't been fulfilled. None of those promises have been completed, or however you want to say that. This person doesn't like to be seen. Whoever this is in this energy doesn't like to be seen, but yet somehow that ends up being the only way they can survive is by doing whatever they can to get attention, and it makes them very uncomfortable. It's like it feels like torture, actually. Like whoever this is has to connect in order to survive, but they loathe the feeling of connection. It's like the worst thing on earth for whatever reason. This person does not like to be touched, does not like to be held. And then it seems like they found themselves in some kind of a situation where that's the only way they can make money is by touching people, is by holding people, is by maintaining eye contact, is by collecting as much attention as possible. And it's underwhelming because at the end of the day, it seems like they do what they want and they care more about what they want. So even if their life is at stake, they're going to make sure they stay in the background, they stay hidden from sight. And it's like, I don't know, it's like this person is up against the wall. They may be considering getting therapy, or maybe someone told this person, whoever's in this energy, to get therapy. You need therapy, you need help, you need, seek attention or something. But that's the whole point. They don't want attention. They don't like attention. It feels like someone's going to be doing some kind of hypnosis to turn into someone else. They're trying to change who they are so they can get more comfortable with what's required of them. You have the Hangman. This is the around looking at it from a different angle. You have surrender, perspective, and patience. It feels like a shyness, like an overwhelming shyness that's hindering someone from meeting their person or connecting with their person, connecting with a purpose in life. And up until this point, it seems like whoever this is in this energy did not care. They were willing to lose it all, risk it all, just to remain comfortable in this comfort zone. And it seems like the comfort zone is what's killing them. Because if they get too comfortable, they could die. I don't know what this is for or who this is for, what this is or what this is even about. But there's a real need to turn things around and look at things from a different angle here and kind of save yourself. Whoever this is in the energy needs to save themselves and make that connection wherever possible, whatever can keep you feeling like you're not losing your soul at the end of the day. But you don't want to lose your life just to save your soul. I don't know who needs to hear that. There's a way with words and communication and metaphors, and all of that is meant to make you feel more comfortable and more powerful with your situation, but it's not meant to ruin your life. You have a lot of love around you, a lot of respect around you, a lot of blessings around you, things you might not even consider blessings: self-love, self-care, an open heart. That open heart is everything. And whoever this is in this energy has a very strong heart. It's so strong that you don't even seem to count it as a qualifier. It's like the heart's not on the table. The heart's in the rib cage. Someone's very practical when it comes to this energy. Whoever this is in this energy isn't suffering from the typical broken heart syndrome. It's like this person has never even put themselves they've never even put themselves in a position to be hurt in the first place. Shakespeare says better to love and lose than to not love at all. And this person has never even played that game. This is like someone who never got married, never had kids. They could still be a virgin and they have no desire to change anything about their life. I'm getting 40-year-old virgin energy. and they don't desire children. They don't feel like they're lacking in anything. But then at the end of the day, it's like, well, who's going to take care of me? It's like now this person is at a point where they realize that they do need people, but it's real difficult for them to come out and ask for help. And also, they're struggling with the idea of makes them feel weak. And if they come off as weak, they feel like that's going to make people run away even more. Like there was a way that they maintain control and power and leverage in a situation, and that was by seeming like everything's okay, seeming strong, even when they don't genuinely feel strong. Like this is like you come off as whoever this is in this energy is coming off like they've got it all together. Like they have everything they need. And I feel like this is part of the reason why whoever this is does to some extent have it all together. They've manifested this without even knowing it. But there's still this desire, just this human be connected. So it seems like there's some love here that could be coming into this person's life. Whoever this is in this energy is getting closer to their union, their soul connection. And so get ready for that. There's a real need to be prepared for this, because once it starts, there's no turning back. Once these gates open, it's like a concert where, there's way too many people to stop them from entering. Once you open the doors, they're going to come in. And it's like, it's theirs now. Yeah, once you give your heart to this person that's coming in and being part of this connection, they're going to feel like your heart belongs to them. This King of Wands in your energy, whoever this is, that's in this energy, they feel isolated and abandoned. They feel like they've been neglected. Like someone made promises, or whatever promises were made to them were broken. And it seems like no one even made an attempt to keep those promises. It was just a lie. And once you discover whoever this is that discovers this energy, in this energy, that these lies were lies, is way too late. Whoever this is in this energy, once they discover that these lies are lies, it's too late to turn back. This was like a bait and switch type of deal. And everyone on the other end has no choice but to continue on with this lie, because it's survival of the fittest. So it's like definite false advertisement here. But at the same time, there's some kind of integrity mix up, or someone feels like there's another word for integrity. It's not just losing your soul, but it feels like it's demoralizing, it's degrading, all those things. But you have to love yourself enough to not care. Like if you whoever this is like, I'm getting this vision of they enter a restaurant, or there's been advertisement of this restaurant that has the best food on earth. But once you get there, you realize that there's no food at all. And actually, this whole town is starving. And the only reason they invited you is so that they can eat you. And that's the only way they survive, is by lying, pretending that they have everything, but they really have nothing at all. And the only way you can survive, or whoever's in this energy, the only way they can survive is by continuing in this lie, putting together the best ad campaign to describe the best feast on earth, and hope that they can get a good meal out of it. So there's a lot of lies, a lot of trickery, and it's just no time to think about who betrayed who, because it really is dog eat dog in this energy. So somebody is forging a connection and also turning their back on the passion, because that's what feels like is most at stake, the passion. Like someone enter into this really feeling like, culinary art school, here I come. I'm about to be the best chef, 5-star restaurant. And then, it's the Hunger Games, and there's this energy of, cannibalism, spiritual cannibalism, and all of that. People stealing each other's ideas, and, people stealing your thoughts before you even get a chance to think them. That's how cutthroat it is. And it almost feels like a third world country. Like you think of third world countries. First of all, I'm in America, so we're one of the newest countries, newly developed and all of that, if you want to count, is not, it wasn't built yesterday, or basically it was built yesterday. So you look at these third world countries and you think, they've been around for millennia and millennia and millennia, and look at what happened to them. But for some reason, I don't know, I just don't feel like people are really learning from the past. They feel like they get this good idea and they can run with it and make something new and something more of it. But everyone else who have done that have fallen off the cliff. Like, these civilizations fall. I'm seeing visions of the Tower of Babel, and is where these new countries are built, is in the rubble. They're built on top of the rubble with the same exact idea that caused that first civilization to fall. Like, I got a good idea. No one knows about this. I'm gonna run with it. When everybody is speaking gibberish, everybody is confused, everybody is, as soon as you get a good idea, they start watching you like, what do you think you know that I don't? What do you have that I don't? And it starts to feel more isolating. Whoever's in this energy is isolated. They feel abandoned. They feel confused. They feel like, they don't have any friends because they can't trust anyone. With the Hangman, you've got the Queen of Cups. It seems like this is a very sensitive, touchy situation and a touchy subject. Whoever's in this energy, they want to open their heart. I'm hearing to the public, to the world, to whoever this connection is, whatever this connection is, to this idea of looking at things from a different perspective. They want to change, but they're also afraid of repeating the past. They're afraid of someone else's mistakes because it feels like they learn from other people's mistakes more than anything. And this person is highly intuitive, so they can trace a thought all the way down to every possible scenario and outcome, and it just seems like it just keeps going back into the ground. Everything just keeps collapsing and falling, and there's some kind of paralysis, like someone feels paralyzed by this scenario. And it all comes back to not wanting to be seen, and something about attention. Like, someone is definitely hiding from this truth, and they're hiding from the fact that they can see into the future, and the future doesn't look that great. From this angle with the Lovers here, I just said Lovers, is Ace of Cups. So there is love here, self-love. You have friendship and abundance coming in. You have a celebration. Whoever this is in this energy. Someone needs to wrap their mind around the fact that they're the ones in control. Look at the Queen of Cups. Whoever this is, this Queen of Cups, they have a support system. They have people who want to celebrate them. They have love. Someone is afraid of acknowledging their own wealth. It's like, as soon as you make it very clear to the universe that you're happy, it's going to be snatched away. Like, you have to keep your head down and worry. It seems like whoever's in this energy is constantly being proven wrong. So if you started off with a positive mindset and people keep trying to prove you wrong, like, no, it's not a good day. No, it's not a good morning. Blah, blah, blah. What are you so happy about? Someone realized that if they start to be negative, people will do everything in their power to convince them that they're upset for no reason. And that's what I feel like this Three of Cups is. It's like, the abundance came when you didn't want it. The friendship came when you wanted to be alone, when you didn't want to feel. It feels like whoever it is in this energy, they pulled themselves away initially. They isolated themselves so that they could get their mind together around the fact that they are popular and that a lot of people want to be around them and that their energy is magnetic. You have the King of Swords here to clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, someone had to clear their mind and think very rationally. I feel like whoever this is very practical. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day if you're saying I am or I am not. It's what happens to these words. If people want to constantly prove you wrong, then you're going to mix those words up, mix and match those words in order to get the result that you truly desire. There's a lot of thoughts that have to go into this because it feels like trickery, almost like someone's stirring a cauldron, like stirring a pot, and really think about what you want and how that leads to what you need to do to get what you want. When they say manifesting is about letting go and let the universe figure out the how, it feels like you had to do all of that work. And whoever said that you don't just didn't realize how involved you are with this whole situation. You got this celebration. It's like, yeah, you won the war because you put all the thoughts into the strategy of how you were going to win. It didn't just happen overnight. It wasn't a lucky situation. You did have to think a lot behind the scenes, especially in spite of the fact that people were stealing your thoughts. And this is something that a lot of people weren't even acknowledging. You weren't in. It feels like you weren't in a spiritual setting, so that when it comes to you expressing exactly what was going on, no one wanted to acknowledge it. Or people were so gung-ho on stealing your thoughts that they just outright denied it and tried to have you institutionalized, or maybe they did have you institutionalized, but that just added to the experience and how much you know. That added to your wisdom and this victory that you're coming through with. It feels so lonely. It feels like a Pyrrhic victory, almost like you lost all your friends. Whoever this is in this energy lost their friends, all of them. They lost their lovers. They even lost their community, in a sense that, you can't just go around speaking to anybody, because most people are muttering obscenities under their breath. Most people are cursing the world. Most people are lunatics. So it's even like in this crowd of people celebrating you, you have to be concerned about who is really on the other side. Who's my enemy here? After all you've been through and how you learn how people think in this energy, having to look at things from different perspectives, you had to look at yourself from every angle but home. Because if you actually went home, you'd be leading the enemy to your home. And they tried to steal your identity so many times. It made you uncomfortable with even being yourself. So what you refused at the end of the day, this offer that you refused, it feels like it was the promise. Like the promise that was made to you, you will be successful, you will have everything you desire, blah, blah, blah. They never told you that you had to do everything to get there and that you would lose everything in the process. It's like, it almost feels like this Alice in Wonderland moment when you wake up from a dream because you've been looking into the future this entire time and you say, it's just not worth it. Everything you're losing. And now people want to say that whoever this is in this energy is procrastinating, and this person is a lazy bum because they haven't sold their soul and lost their whole life, lost their mind trying to reach a goal that is impossible. I'm seeing someone looking into the sky like the sky's the limit. Reach for the stars. And that's insane, because no one's reaching the stars. It's like whoever's in this energy is very practical. So let's clarify the Hangman, this Queen of Cups. It feels so lonely here because this is a thinker. Someone thinks very deeply, and most people aren't thinking as deeply as this person is thinking. And also the deepness of these thoughts is meant to isolate them, because they have to constantly explain themselves. They have to constantly protect themselves from people who are trying to steal, people who can't think for themselves. This energy feels like is getting more and more amped up. Like even though the battle was won, it feels like you're still guarded. and you haven't exactly given up. Someone's playing dead. Someone's pretending that they gave up. Someone's pretending that they're refusing an offer, but there's some kind of tricks up this person's sleeve. The Queen of Cups is coming back out. You are still working behind the scenes. You're still working in the dark. Someone's doing shadow work, heavy, heavy shadow work, and constantly learning. I'm also feeling like whoever is in this energy is educated to some degree. Like there's a higher level of education here that didn't amount to anything. I mean, you got the degree. Maybe you were working in your career sometime, but whoever this is left that all in the past, or that's what it seems like they did, because they're still learning. It seems like they're still a student, and they started to learn from things that people weren't paying attention to. Like, you're learning from the vibrations in the air. You're learning how, birds and insects communicate. You're learning about human behavior and how you fit in all that, how to surf the waves, basically. Like, I feel like someone shut down from the spotlight to do work in the backwoods or back rooms. Back rooms, 511. So you got the Magician in reverse. Someone had to learn how to be manipulative because they realized that was the only way that they were going to get what they want. They had to learn how to manipulate the waves. And it's not just about people, whoever this is in this energy, because it's like, you are the same people as the ones who are competing with you. I don't know how to say that, but it's like you, your mirror, your reflection, your competitors, your enemies, your friends, your lovers is all the same. So it wasn't just about manipulating people. There's a saying that, a person who thinks about people is on a lower vibration than a person who thinks about events or something like that. So with this energy, it wasn't just about you manipulating people, it's you manipulating the physics, quantum mechanics. You're manipulating electrons and protons that might be responsible for thoughts that can in turn become actions, etc. But it's like you went all the way to the smallest decimal and learned to control that. And also in that space, no one's controlling you, and no one can understand what you're doing without hurting themselves. Anyone following you is going to give it off that they're not being themselves, and they're not following themselves, and they're going to lose some kind of mental capacity that's going to render them mentally disabled. They're going to disable their mental capacities or something. I don't even know what I'm saying. You have abandonment, withdrawal, avoidance, and fear. Someone definitely feels abandoned and alone in this energy. But at the same time, it feels like you're working on a masterpiece. Like that video, what is the name of it? Twin. Nobody knows me like you do. What is the song called? I know her as Priscilla Renee. She was a YouTuber, and then she became a songwriter. Well, she was always a songwriter, and then Priscilla Renee. What's that song? Nobody knows me. Anyway, there's a video of her doing science experiments and working on something behind closed doors. Like she's working on spells or casting spells or something. That's the vibe. Like you feel unknown to the world except that one connection that you have. And it's like you weren't able to build a connection with the community. You might not have been able to build connection with friends because they're backstabbers and liars, deceitful con artists. You might not even been able to build a connection with the system as a whole, but you had to go down to the back rooms and connect with the smallest part, the smallest electron, and work on that. And now you're making magic. Now you're starting to see your dreams come true. And it might even look like you've got it so much together that you don't even need the results at the end of the day, because you are the game. Knight of Swords. You've got bully here. You've got big changes. This could be coming off as double energy for some people in this energy. I'm just feeling like there's no limit here. Like, you really did make the sky limitless. I'm seeing the sky as being brainwaves. I'm seeing neurological connections, like all from this seat in the grass. It seems like you bypass the devices and learn how to manipulate the world. How is this making sense? I feel like it's so much more vocabulary that's needed to explain what's happening here. Like, this is someone who's, like, they might look like they have a tick because of the way they move, but they're literally like typing codes into the universe, just straight into the air. Or someone who, like, they can control their own, like, the tension in their body just by tapping. Is it called tapping or something like that? Or you just control your own frequencies, and that replaces medication, anxiety medication. You're staying focused. But there's this vibe like you're using tapping, or you're using some other kind of mechanism. You could be using music frequencies, noise frequencies to control and manifest your own reality, to the point where you're like, I don't need that. I don't need that money, because I can just create the car. I can just create the house. I don't need to buy it, because I can just make it appear. Like, you've bypassed the middleman. Let's close on this energy. Yeah, someone's definitely casting some kind of spells. Let's give it a shuffle. So the bottom of the deck, we have T-set, discernment. Top, we have maid. Okay. And then we have dining room. So something came out in an earlier reading about a maid service. You have discernment here, clarifying this Queen of Cups. Use your discernment and talk and protect yourself from gossip. This is really clarifying this energy here. Yeah, like there's a maid who's in your energy, or someone who's pretending to help, some kind of higher help, but they've been hired by the enemy. They've been hired by someone who has shown that they don't truly support you. You have assist, care, supportive, share. A kind soul will soon arrive to ease your daily burdens. But I'm getting to be careful about this person. They may come off as wanting to care about you, but there's something about their energy that's very competitive. And also, it seems like whatever they've done or whatever they plan to do is not as scheming and conniving as the person who hired them. Because the person who hired them has so many other tricks up their sleeve. This could be who was making a promise to you in the first place and who broke that promises and what got you feeling neglected. You have balance, enjoyment, savor slowly, stop before full. True satisfaction comes from awareness. Okay, that clarifies this here. So when you refuse this offer, it's going to be a shock to whoever's offering it, because they're like, you need me. But they don't realize what you've been doing in the background. You've been learning how to control this whole entire system from the root, from the ground up. So just be mindful that you don't need anybody, and you've got full control and advantage. You have a connection with the highest power, high source light, whatever you want to call it, yourself. You can do it all on your own. You genuinely don't need anybody. Whoever needs to hear that. because they're about to get thrown off. They're about to get power hungry. So I feel like things are changing for you. And yeah, I'm just going to stop it there because there seems like there's a lot of abundance around you, and you're going to need to be careful about the help. You're going to need to be careful about the staff, people who are in your energy, your supporters, the people who want to come in and celebrate with you, because this is only after the disappointment. And you recognize that disappointment before they even knew that you were aware of what was going on. So let me know if that's resonating with you. Thank you so much for being here, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. I'll be here every day. So I'll see you tomorrow.